So I want you to watch this video as they go through some examples, because with the word problem, the first thing we've got to do is create the equation from the word problem. So what we've been doing the last couple of weeks is learning how to solve different types of equations. Well, starting today, that's just one of the steps, solving the equation. We've got to set up the equation correctly from what the word problem says. If you don't get the equation set up correctly, then you're not going to get the word problem right, because you're going to have an incorrect equation. So we're going to start with basic ones. We'll get a little more complicated as we go, but we're going to start with the basic one. So I want you to watch this video. Okay.
In this video, we're going to focus on translating sentences into equations. So let's start with the first one. 5 more than 3 times the number is 26. What is the value of that number? So how can we convert this sentence into an equation? 5 more. When you hear the word more, think of addition. You're adding 5. 3 times the number. The missing number we're going to call x. So 3 times the number is 3x. And 5 more than 3 times the number, that's 3x plus 5. Or you can write it as 5 plus 3x. Whenever you see the word is, replace it with an equal sign. So is 26, or is equal to 26. And therefore that is the equation that represents the first sentence of this problem. Now all we need to do is find the value of x, and that's going to be the value of the number. So now let's solve the equation. Let's begin by subtracting both sides by 5. 26 minus 5 is 21. And let's bring down the 3x. So 3x is equal to 21. Now our next step is to separate the 3 and the x. They're multiplied, so we need to divide the 3 from the x. 3x divided by 3 is simply 1x, or x. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So that is the missing number, 7. Number 2. 6 less than 5 times the number is 9. What is the number? So now it's your turn. Feel free to pause the video if you want to try this problem. So let's start with 5 times a number. The missing number is x, so 5 times the number would represent 5x. And then it's 6 less than 5 times the number. So it's going to be minus 6. Not 6 minus 5x. So be careful when you're dealing with subtraction. You should put it after, which is usually the way it's going to be.
Okay, remember a couple of weeks ago when we were doing translating word phrases into the algebraic expressions, and the word less than is a reverse word. Than is a reverse word, so the 6 goes on the other side of the subtraction, and the 5 times a number goes on the front side of the subtraction sign. So we've got to remember all of those words and what they mean. We'll pull that chart back up and take a look at it in a few minutes, but that's where this is coming from.
Now we have that word is, so we're going to replace it with equal. So 6 less than 5 times the number is 9, or is equal to 9. Now all we need to do is solve the equation. Let's begin by adding 6 to both sides. 9 plus 6 is 15. And so what we have now is 5x is equal to 15. Now let's divide by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that is the value of the missing number. X is equal to 3. So hopefully you're getting the hang of converting these sentences into equations. And the best way to learn how to do it is with practice. Once you do about 5 or 10 of these problems, you're going to get the hang of it. So just hang in there. Here is another example that we can work on. The difference between 4 times a number and 7 is 5. What is the number? So let's start with the expression 4 times the number. That's going to be 4x. And then we have 7 and the difference between those two. So we're talking about subtraction. Is 5 or is equal to 5. And so that's how we can convert that sentence into an equation. Now let's go ahead and solve it. Let's add 7 to both sides. 5 plus 7 is 12. And now let's divide both sides by 4. So x is equal to 12 divided by 4, which is 3. And that's it for this problem. So whenever you hear the word difference or less than, you're dealing with subtraction. If you hear the word sum or more than, you're dealing with addition. So just keep those things in mind. Number 4. 7 more than the quotient of a number and 3 is 10. What is the number? So 7 more, we could simply write 7 plus something. Now let's focus on this part, the quotient of a number and 3. What does that mean? When you hear the word quotient, you need to know that it's associated with division. You need to write some sort of fraction. So you're dividing the number and 3. The number, we're going to call it x. You can use n if you want, but I'm just going to use x to represent the number that we don't know the value of currently. So the quotient of a number and 3 is simply x divided by 3. That's what it is. And then is or equals 10.
Okay, he has made an error, technical error. Anybody know what that error is? He's made a technical error. It's not going to solve and not going to change the answer. Okay, right. Because of the word than, than is a reverse word, and so the x over 3 should be first plus the 7. The 7 and the x over 3 are supposed to be switched. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, but yes, very good, Miss Wilcher.
So now we can solve the equation. Let's begin by subtracting both sides by 7. So x divided by 3 is equal to 10 minus 7, which is 3. Now let's multiply both sides by 3 in order to get rid of the fraction on the left. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And on the right we have 3 times 3, which is 9. So that is the number. X is 9. Number 5. 5 less than 3 times the sum of a number and 4 is 22. What is the number? So how should we begin? Let's focus on the sum of a number and 4. So the sum represents addition. So x plus 4, x is the number. That's the sum of the number and 4. And then we have the expression 3 times the sum of a number and 4. So this is going to be 3 times x plus 4. So we're going to put the 3 outside and enclose the x plus 4 within parentheses. And then we have the expression 5 less than all of that. So we could put minus 5. And all of this is or equals 22. So this is the equation that we now have. Let's go ahead and solve it. Now let's begin by distributing the 3. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. Next, let's combine like terms. On the left side, we can combine 12 and negative 5. 12 minus 5 is positive 7. Now let's subtract both sides by 7. 22 minus 7 is 15. And if we divide both sides by 3, 15 divided by 3 is 5. And so that is the value of the missing number. X is equal to 5.
So the first thing we need to talk about is reviewing that chart that I gave you back a long time ago. Okay. Hopefully you remember this chart. We talked about words that mean addition, plus, sum, more, and increase. Words that mean subtraction, minus, less, from, difference, decreased. Words that mean multiplication, times, product, by, double, twice, of. Words that mean division, quotient, divided by, half. Words that mean equal, is, were, and became. And then the very important reverse words, to, than, and from. Than being the most popular, the most commonly used reverse word. Okay. It would be a good idea to have this printed. Okay. I am actually going to print it out real quick myself. If not, at some point you may want to create this chart yourself. Don't do that now, but addition and subtraction are forgiving. What I mean by that is, if I take 3 and I add 4, okay, I take 3 and add 4, I get 7. But if I take 4 and add 3, I still get 7. It doesn't really matter which number comes first when I'm adding. So adding is forgiving. Multiplying, 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 3 is 12. So if I don't have the order just right, it's okay. It's not going to affect my answer. Subtraction and division are not forgiving. Not in the least. Okay? If I take 6 and subtract 3, I get 3. But if I take 3 and subtract 6, I get -3. Completely different answer. So in subtraction, the order is important. If you don't get the order right, you're going to be off. And 3 is just as different as -3 as 6 is from 3. 6 and 3 are obviously not the same number. 3 and -3 are not the same number. It's two different values. If I take 6 and divide it by 3, I get 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. But 3 divided by 6 is not 2. If I divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3, I get 1/2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 6 is 1/2. Two completely different answers. The order is important. The order that you write the numbers is important. if you don't put them in the right order, you will get the answer wrong, because you will be way off. With addition and subtraction, the order of the numbers does not matter. It doesn't matter which one comes first. You're going to get the same answer. Subtraction and division, the order does matter. So on the video, when the man had 7 plus the x divided by 3, 7 plus x divided by 3 is the same as x divided by 3 plus 7. It doesn't matter, since we're adding those two things together, which one came first. Okay. So for these problems, there are two things you're going to really need to want to have out with you, and that is the sheet I just showed you, that's the translating the words, and then of course our steps for solving equations. Because the process for solving the equations is going to be the same. We're going to continue to use those steps. Okay, so we're going to jump in and do a few problems, and then we will take a break. So we're going to start with problems on this sheet. And because there's not any room here to work these, you're going to want to have out a piece of paper, and we're going to work the problems on paper. I'm going to switch back to my whiteboard. To help you out, I will write the problem down so that we can see the word problem as we are working it. So for number 1, the word problem says 8 more than a number is 20. Find the number. Eight more than a number is 20. Find the number. The first thing we do is we determine what it is we're looking for. Usually there is a sentence that's going to tell you what you're looking for. We're looking for a number, so I'm going to call my number X. That's the number that we're looking for. So you always want to determine what is your variable. Our variable is X, and it is the number. That's what we're looking for. The next thing we do is we look at the sentence that gives us the equation. There will be, and I call it the equation sentence. Probably 95% of the time, there is a sentence that just needs to be translated into algebra. And so 8 is the number 8. More means we are adding. Than is a reverse word, so that means that the 8 is going to have to trade places with the number. A number would be our variable x. Is means equals, and then we have the number 20. 8 is a number. More means addition. Than is a reverse word, which means we have to make sure that we reverse the order. A number is the number we're looking for, x. Is means equals 20. So translating that into algebra, we would get x plus 8 equals 20. 8 and the x get reversed because of the reverse word than. Okay, so we start by identifying our variable. Next, we look for the equation sentence and translate. Next, we solve the equation. So our equation is x plus 8 equals 20. Okay, according to our steps, step 1 is to get rid of parentheses. There aren't any. Step 2 is to combine like terms. There aren't any to combine. Step 3, get variable terms together on one side. Well, I've only got one variable term, x. Step 4 is our stop sign. Stop and make sure there's only one variable in the problem. There is. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. We're adding 8 to the x, so we undo that by subtracting 8. The 8's add out. We're left with x on the left, and 20 minus 8 is 12. You might say, okay, we're done. No, you're not done. The last thing we need to do is make sure that we answer the question, because most of the time, I'd say probably half the time, the number that you get when you solve the equation is not the number that answers the question. Right now, it will be. On Thursday, it won't be. That number will have to be used to answer the question. So right now, we're learning the process. So the question was to find the number. I like to answer the question with a sentence. The number is 12. Period. Okay. All right, so that was number 1. You might say, well, that's a lot of stuff just to do that problem. I could look at that and tell what the answer was. Yes, but just like when we were solving equations, if you don't learn the process, when the problems get harder, you won't be able to do those. So we're learning the process so that we understand how we go about solving the problems. Okay? All right, let's look at number 2. All right, problem number 2 says "12 less than a number." 12 less than a number is -3. Find the number. 12 less than a number is -3. Find the number. Okay. First thing we do is define the question and the variable. So it says find the number. So we're going to say x is equal to the number. You might say, well, that's silly to write that. Well, it's going to be important even on this sheet when we get to the other problems. So we do need to determine what the variable is. Again, we're learning the process, so bear with me and do the steps the way I'm showing you, so that when we get to the other problems that are harder, you will have learned the process. The next thing we do is we look for the equation sentence. "12 less than a number is -3. There's our equation sentence. Translate. 12 is a number. Less means subtraction. Than is a reverse word, so that means the 12 and the other thing, whatever's the next, is going to switch. A number, that's our x, is always means equals -3. So our equation is x minus 12 equals -3. Reverse than. So the 12 is after the subtraction, the variable x is in front of the subtraction. Solve the equation. X minus 12 equals -3. Step 1, get rid of parentheses. Aren't any. Step 2, combine like terms. There aren't any. Step 3, we can't have variables on both sides. We don't have that. Step 4, look to see that there's only one variable in the problem. There it is, x. No other x's, so we're good. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. So I'm going to add 12 to undo this subtraction. We add 12. The 12s add out, we're left with x. -3 plus 12 is 9. 9. Last step, answer the question. The number is 9. That's the answer to the question. That's the process that we need to follow in order to work these problems. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says 3 more than a number is -5. Find the number. 3 more than a number is -5. Find the number. Okay. First thing we do is define the variable. We look for the question that we're being asked, and we're trying to find a number. We're going to call that number x. The next thing we do is we look for the equation sentence. Three more than a number is -5. That's our equation sentence. Translate it into algebra. 3 means the number 3. More means addition. Than is a reverse word. So that means the 3 and this thing has to switch. A number is x, is means equals, -5. So our equation is x plus 3, 3 more than, so the 3 comes after the plus sign. The other thing, the thing after, which is the number, comes front. Is means equals, -5. Next, we solve the equation. X plus 3 equals -5. Undo parentheses. We don't have parentheses. Combine like terms. There aren't any terms to combine. Get rid of variables on both sides. We don't have variables on both sides. Step 4, stop. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There is. That's the x. There aren't any other x's. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. So we're adding 3, so I need to subtract 3 and subtract 3. The 3's add out. We're left with x. -5 and -3 is -8. Then answer the question. The question was to find the number. The number is -8. Okay. Problem number 4. Problem number 4 says 9 less than a number. Nine less than a number is -24. Find the number. Okay, I want you to do this one. Tell me what you get when you get your answer, and then we will take a break. Identify the variable. It says find the number, so our number is going to be x. Next, we find the equation sentence. Nine less than a number is 24. So we translate. 9 is the number 9. Less means subtraction. Than is a reverse word. So we know the 9 is going to have to come over here and trade places with what this is. This is the number, so that's x. Is means equals negative 24. So we end up with x minus 9 equals negative 24. Next thing we do is solve the equation. X minus 9 equals negative 24. Get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. Combine like terms, there aren't any. Step 3 is look to see if we have variables on both sides. We do not. Step 4 is to stop and make sure there's only one variable term. We have that with the x. Step 5 is to undo addition or subtraction. So we're subtracting 9, do the opposite and add 9. The 9's add out, we're left with x. Negative 24 plus 9 is what? Negative 15. And then finally answer the question. The number is negative 15. Back in the 1900s when I taught high school, my rule was if it's a word problem, you get a word answer. Word problem, word answer. Word problem, word answer. And that's a good rule to follow because by writing the word answer, you typically go back and look at what the question is to make sure that you are answering the question. Okay? Now look at number 5. Number 5 is worded a little bit different. It says, if 10 is subtracted from a number, comma, the result is 23. Find the number. Okay, so a little bit different wording this time, but the process is the same. First thing we do is look at what we're looking for. We're looking for a number. So I'm going to let x be the number. Then we find the equation sentence. Okay. We're going to see later on that there may be equation sentences. Okay. So then we translate. Now in this one there's a little bit of an issue because I see the word is and I see the word is again. Well, we can't have two equal signs. It can't be something equals something equals something. So what we have to see is that this word is going with the word subtracted. Is subtracted, is combined. So we have the number 10, we have subtraction, and there is another reverse word. From is a reverse word. So this 10 is going to have to trade places. So if 10 is subtracted from a number, there's x, the result is. Both of those words together mean that we have an equal sign in our 23. So the 10 is subtracted from means we're taking 10 away from the number x. The result is means equals 23. 10 subtracted from x is 23. Next, we solve the equation. X minus 10 equals 23. We get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. We combine like terms, there aren't any. We eliminate variables on both sides. We don't have variables on both sides. Step 4 is our stop sign. Check and make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There is. That means we can move on. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. So I need to add 10 and add 10. The 10s add out. We're left with x. 23 plus 10 is 33. And then finally, answer the question. The number is 33. So we'll look at number 6. Number 6 says if 32 is added to a number, the result is -4. Find the number. Okay. This problem is very similar to number 5. So I would like for you to do number 6 and tell me what you get for an answer. All right, let's take a look and see. First thing we do is define our variable. We're looking for a number, so I'm going to call that number x. So then we find the equation sentence. If 32 is added to a number, the result is -4. So we translate. And so we've got the word is in here twice. But is added to goes together. Okay. And result is goes together. So this is part of this word added. So if 32 is that's our number, is added to is addition. To is a reverse word, and our number is x. Result is means equals -4. So our equation is x plus 32 equals -4. X plus 32 equals -4 is the equation. Then the next thing we do is we solve the equation. So we have x plus 32 equals -4. Get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. Combine like terms, there aren't any to combine. Look for variable on both sides, we don't have that. Step 4, make sure there's only one variable term, we have it. Now we can move to step 5, undo addition or subtraction. So we're going to subtract 32, subtract 32, the 32's add out, we're left with x. -4, -32 is -36. So we make sure that we answer the question. And so the number is -36. Okay. Now we're going to look at number 7. Number 7. If a number is increased by, if a number is increased by 6, the result is 50. Find the number. Okay. This one's worded a little bit different. We're told to find a number, so that's what we're looking for. I'm going to call my variable x, and x will represent the number. Again, this is an important step, very important. You'll see why probably today. If not, you'll definitely see on Thursday why A is a very important step. Then B is find the equation sentence. So if a number is increased by 6, the result is 50. Again, we have the word is in there twice, but the first is part of is increased by. Okay, is increased by means we are adding, and we have a number. We have 6. The result is goes together, meaning equals 50. So there is no reverse word in this particular problem. So we have x plus 6 equals 50. Okay, and so we did our translation. Now we solve. So x plus 6 equals 50. No parentheses, no combining like terms, no variables on both sides. We only have one variable term in the problem. So now we undo addition or subtraction. These add out, we're left with x. 50 minus 6 is 44. Then we answer the question. So we get the number is 44. All right, let's look at the next one. Number 8. Number 8 is just like number 7. Number 8 says if a number is decreased by, if a number is decreased by 16, The result is -2. Find the number. Okay, I want you to do number 8. I want you to do number 8. Y'all are getting ahead of me, but that's good. That's okay. If you're getting this, then you go on ahead. That's great. We're asked to find a number, so we'll let the number be x. Equation sentence: if a number is decreased by 16, the result is -2. So now we need to translate. We do have the word is in there twice, but here is decreased by goes together, and the result is goes together. So a number would be x is decreased by means we are subtracting 16. The result is means equals -2. So my equation is x minus 16 equals -2. A number decreased by 16, the result is -2. No reverse words. So now we solve. No parentheses, no like terms to combine. We don't have variables on both sides. Stop. Step 4, stop and look to see that there's only one variable term. There is. Now we can undo addition or subtraction. -2 plus 16 is +14. So now we answer the question. The number is 14. Okay. Now look at number 9. Number 9, we start to get a little bit more complicated. This says the length of a tennis court is 78 feet. This is 51 feet more than the width. What is the width? The length of a tennis court is 78 feet. This is 51 feet more than the width. What is the width? They're asking us to find the width. So I'm going to say that the width is x. X is the width. But now they also talk about in this problem length. So we're talking about width in a couple of places, and we're talking about length. So I'm also going to put here that the length is 78 feet. Length is means equals 78 feet. Okay? So the width is x, the length is 78 feet. Let's talk about something for a minute. Need to introduce a new word that is going to appear in a lot of your word problems. If I tell you that today is sunny, and then I say, this is awesome, what is this, the word this, referring to? If I say today is sunny, and I say this is awesome, what is the word this referring to? What do I mean when I say this is awesome? We use that word all the time. We use the word this all the time. In this particular instance, what does this refer to? Today is sunny. This is awesome. What does the word this refer to? Okay, good. I needed a few of you to say. It, in this case, is referring back to the fact that the day is sunny. The word this typically talks about or is referring to what was just mentioned. Okay, that's important. The word this usually refers to what was just talked about in the sentence before. So, we've identified our width, we've identified our length. Next, we find the equation sentence. Okay, we have to be careful. The length of a tennis court is 78 feet is not the equation sentence. The equation sentence is, this is 51 feet more than the width. That's the equation sentence. So, the first word is this. The word this is referring to what was just mentioned. The thing that was just mentioned is 78 feet. So that is on the left side of the equal sign. This is. So this means 78, is equals, 51 is our number, more means we are adding Than is our reverse word, the width, which is x. So our equation is 78 equals 51 more than, means we are taking 51 and adding it to the width. Okay, so we get 78 equals x plus 51. Now we solve. So I'll come up here, 78 equals 50, equals x plus 51. Get rid of parentheses, don't have any. Combine like terms, don't have any. Get rid of variables on both sides, we don't have that. Step 4, stop sign. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There is. There's only one x in the problem. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. The 51 is being added to the x, so we subtract 51, subtract 51. The 51s add out, we're left with x. 78 minus 51 is what? 27. Okay. Then D is answer the question. The question is, what is the width? The width is 27 feet. That's the answer to the question. That the word this is referring to what was before it. So let's look at the next problem. The next problem says Andy, this is number 10. Andy hit 14 home runs this season. Okay. If this is 9 fewer than he hit last season, how many home runs did he hit last season? Well, let's see how we work this. First thing we need to do, look at what we're being asked for. How many home runs did he hit last season? We have to be careful because we're not going to say that X is the number of home runs, because we also have home runs here. It's home runs last season, because 14 is home runs this season. Andy hit 14 home runs this season. So the two things that we're looking at are the home runs last season, the home runs this season. Next, we look for the equation sentence. The first sentence is not the equation sentence. it's part of our setup. Andy hit 14 home runs this season. The equation sentence is if this is 9 fewer than he hit last season. That part right there is the equation sentence. So if this, there's our word this refers to what was stated before. The thing that was stated before is 14 home runs this season. This is 9 fewer. There's our number 9. Fewer means we are subtracting. Than is our reverse word. So we're taking 9 away from the amount he hit last season, which is X. So you've got to find that equation sentence, and then you have to translate. This is referring to what was mentioned before. Is equals 9 fewer than. Reverse word, 9 fewer means we're taking 9 away from what we hit last season. Step C is to solve. 14 equals X minus 9. No parentheses, no combining like terms. We don't have variables on both sides. Step 4, stop. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There is. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. So we undo the subtraction by adding 9, adding 9. The 9's add out. We're left with X. 14 plus 9 is 23. Then answer the question. He hit 23 home runs last season. That's what it was asking for. How many last season? Okay. Now I want to move to a different sheet. So let me pull up. Same type of problems, but now they get a tad bit more complicated. So we have to be a little more careful. Alright, so I'm going to write the problems out so you do not have to print this if you don't want to. There's not enough room to work the problems out on the sheet, so I'm going to need to do them on the whiteboard. So this is Algebra with Pizzazz, page, what page number is this? 37. Problem number 1 says 2 more than 5 times a number is 77. Find the number. 2 more than 5 times a number is 77. Step A, what are we looking for? We're looking to find a number. So I'm going to call X the number. Next, we look for the equation sentence. There is no other item in this problem other than the number. That's the only thing that it's talking about. The equation sentence: 2 more than 5 times a number is 77. 2 more means plus, than is our reverse word. 5 times means we are multiplying 5 times our number x is equals 77. So my equation says 2 more than, so the 2 more than means I'm adding 2 to something. The something that I'm adding it to is 5 times our number x equals 77. So now you can see, excuse me, the equation got a little more complicated now. It's now a 2-step equation instead of a 1-step. So C is solve the equation. (5x plus 2 equals 77). So get rid of parentheses. There aren't any. Combine like terms. No like terms. Get rid of variables on both sides. We don't have that. Step 4, make sure, stop sign, make sure there's only one variable term. There is. 5x is the only variable term in the problem. There are no other x's in the problem. That means we can move to step 5. Step 5, we undo addition or subtraction first. The 5 is being multiplied by x, the 2 is being added. So we undo the 2. The 2's add out, we're left with 5x. 77 minus 2 is 75. Step 6, undo multiplication or division. We are multiplying by 5, so I divide by 5, divide by 5. The 5's divide out, we're left with x. 75 divided by 5 is 15. Okay, then D, answer the question. The question was find the number. The number is 15. Look at problem number 2. It says 5 more than 1/3 of a number is -2. Oops. Find the number. This one's going to be a little bit different as well. They want us to find the number, so I'm going to let x be the number. Again, you might think, why do I have to write that out? It's going to be important later. If you don't learn to write that out now, you won't do it when you have to do it later. Next, we need to find the equation sentence. The equation sentence is 5 more than 1/3 of a number is -2. FIVE is the number 5. More means addition. Than is our reverse word. 1/3 fraction. 1/3 of, means times. So that's going to be 1/3 times our number x is equals -2. I'm simply translating the words into algebra. So since I have 5 more than, that means I've got my reverse word, so the 5 has to come after the plus sign. 1/3 of means 1/3 times x is equals -2. So there's our equation. 1/3 x plus 5 equals -2. 5 more than 1/3 of a number x is -2. C is to solve. Get rid of parentheses, I don't have any. Combine like terms, I don't have any like terms. Step 3, get rid of variables on both sides. I don't have variables on both sides. Step 4, stop sign. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There's only one x term, 1/3 x. No other x's are in the problem. That means we can move on. Step 5 is undo addition or subtraction. The 1/3 is being multiplied by x. The 5 is being added. So I need to undo addition or subtraction. These add out. I'm left with 1/3 x equals -7. Then we need to remember something. When we have a fraction in front of a variable, first of all, that means we're multiplying. Second of all, the variable can jump to the top. So this is really x over 3 equals -7. So we need to undo multiplication or division. I'm dividing by 3, so I need to multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. 3's divide out, we get x. -7 times 3 is -21. D is to answer question. The number is -21. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says 9 less than 1/4 of a number is 6. Find the number. I want you to do number 3 and tell me what you get for an answer. I want you to do number 3. Tell me what you get as an answer. Okay, let's take a look. We're asked to find a number. I'll let x be the number. Our equation sentence. Nine less than 1/4 of a number is 6. So 9 less means subtraction. Than is a reverse word. 1/4 would be our fraction. Of means times, put a dot. A number is x, is equals 6. So 9 less than means we're taking 9 away from. 1/4 of a number, 1/4 times x, is equals 6. Solve. Get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. Combine like terms, there aren't any. Get rid of the variable on both sides, we don't have that. Step 4, our stop sign, make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. It's 1/4 x, there are no other x's in the problem. So we can move on to step 5. Step 5, undo addition or subtraction. The 1/4 is being multiplied and we're subtracting 9. So I undo the subtraction by adding 9. The 9's add out. We're left with 1/4 x equals 15. This means since there's 1/4 written in front of the x can jump up on top. So now we undo division by multiplying. 4's divide out. We're left with x. 15 times 4 is 60. So next we answer question. The number is 60. All right. Look at number 4. Okay, number 4, we're getting back to problems that are have a little bit more to them. So it says the length of a rectangle is 50 meters. This is 6 meters. This is 6 meters more than twice the width. Find the width. Okay. Okay. So, in this problem, we're talking about two things: length and width. Doesn't matter which one I write first. It says the length is 50 meters. The width, that's what we're trying to find, has to be x. Our equation sentence. This is 6 meters more than twice the width. The first sentence is not the equation sentence because it's just telling us the length is 50. That's just given information. So, the word this refers to what was mentioned in the first sentence, 50. So the word this means 50. Is equals. 6 more means addition. Than is a reverse word. Twice means 2 times the width is x. So our equation is 50 equals 6 more than means we're taking and putting the 6 on the other side of the plus sign, twice the width, 2x. 50 equals 2x plus 6. Now we solve. Get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. Combine like terms, there aren't any. Get rid of the variables on both sides, we don't have variables on both sides. Step 4 is our stop sign. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. It's 2x, there aren't any others. So now we can move to step 5 and undo addition or subtraction. The 2 is being multiplied, the 6 is being added, so we're going to undo the addition by subtracting 6. These add up to 0. We're left with 2x. 50 minus 6 is 44. Then undo the multiplication by dividing. 44 divided by 2 is 22. D is answer question. The width is 22 meters. 22 meters. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we're going to move to the homework. Okay, it's going to make me erase all of it. So we're going to do number 10. Number 10 says Grandpa Schmidt. I'm just going to put Grandpa is 75 years old. This is 9 years less than 7 times the age of Junior. How old is Junior? I want you to try number 10. I want you to do number 10. Tell me what your answer is. Let's see how you did. In this problem, we're talking about two people. We're talking about Grandpa, and we're talking about Junior. They tell us that Grandpa's age is 75. We're trying to find out how old Junior is. We'll call that X. Find the equation sentence. It is not Grandpa is 75 years old. That's part of the information. The equation sentence is this is 9 years less than 7 times the age of Junior. So the word this refers to what was mentioned before, which is 75. Is equals 9, less means subtraction, than is a reverse word, 7 times the age of Junior, which is what we called X. So our equation is 75 equals 9 less than, means we're taking 9 away from 7 times Junior's age. Okay. Next, solve. So get rid of parentheses, there aren't any. Combine like terms, none to combine. get rid of the variable on both sides. We don't have a variable on both sides. Step 4, stop sign. Make sure there's only one variable term in the problem. There is. So now we undo addition or subtraction. So I'm going to add 9 and add 9. The 9s add out. We're left with 7. 75 and 9 is 84. Now we undo multiplication by dividing by 7. Divide by 7. The 7's divide out, we get x, and 84 divided by 7 is 12. Then we answer question. The question was, how old is Junior? Junior is 12 years old.
If you liked this video, please click on the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please click on the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, please click the bell.